Welcome to the Pulse with Peter B. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano. Let's get you to the pulse on everything you need to know. And we are here at the fabulous Mile Square Theater located at 1400 Clinton Street, located in the beautiful city of Hoboken, New Jersey. And speaking of fabulous, it is the guy's coat next to me, and that because it is an absolutely fabulous jacket.
Thank you.
Mr. TJ. And that is my good friend TJ Fiorillo, who is a real estate agent extraordinaire of Prime Realty Group in Hoboken. Welcome to the Pulse.
Thanks, Peter. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, TJ. And full disclosure, this is kind of my agent here. He sold me the condo that I live in right now, and he also sold my previous condo, that is. So thank you for doing that. I love where I live.
March of 2020.
Could you imagine?
We were worried that the whole thing was going to shut down, but we closed everything. Actually, your closing was in the CVS parking lot right up here by Trader Joe's, which was a weird thing for that. I mean, it was normal then, but it would be foreign now.
We won't talk about the buyer of my old place, though. A different story for a different time. Exactly. Well, teacher, I was just wondering if you want to tell the audience how long you've been doing real estate in town, and you've obviously expanded in the last. Your family as well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
In the last few months.
Thanks. 7 years now, which is surprising to say. This is my 7th year in the business, full time since my oldest son was born. He's 19 months old. So everything's been going great so far, so good. We are stationed down First and Park in Hoboken, across from Luca Brassi's, right there next to Tony Baloney's. The lunch spots are excellent over there. But yeah, we're up and running and everything. Hoboken, I've moved to Little Falls myself.
Right.
So my family, we're now a family of 4. We have a 1-month-old, 19-month-old. My wife's at home taking good care of them. Shout out, Brittany, we love you.
Brittany, we love you. And another person you love is my mother, so you're going to have to drop the MMP Biancamano because you already dropped Luca Brassi's.
The only person who puts more food on the table than my wife is your mom.
Absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. TJ, the real estate market in Hoboken feels like it's never going in the opposite direction of up, let's just say.
Yeah.
But however, interest rates are at, I wouldn't say all-time highs, but highs for higher than have been in the last few years.
Yeah.
However, we spoke about this earlier today. When there's a property on the market, properties are selling at $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 over listing price. Why is it that people want to live in this area?
I mean, we're talking about all the great landmarks and all the great restaurants and all the access to the city. That stuff all factors into the equation here. People want to live in Hoboken. It's a great place. There's a fantastic amount of parks, fantastic amount of eateries and restaurants and bars and things like that where you can get out and have a great time. So all of that, plus the access to the city, the bus lines from uptown, the path from downtown, you got light rails, you got trains, everything. Accessibility is great. So people are tackling the question of whether they want to jump into an interest rate. They're about mid-7s right now at the time of taping. We tapped like 8.25 the end of last year.
Wow.
So there was a slight 6 showing, and now we're back up into the 7 range, kind of getting promised rate cuts at some point. But hey, you know what? A lot of people are tackling that question of, do I buy now at a rate that might be a little higher than it could be in a year, or do I kind of brave the elements and go out and shop next year when we are in the low 6s against higher competition? So, if you get a lot of people, if they find a house that they love, they're willing to pay a little extra right now until they can have that opportunity, monitor the market, and maybe do a refinance in the future.
Yeah, and do you think that's affecting availability at the rental market as compared to the selling market?
Well, certainly. The rental market's been crazy here, really since the pandemic started. There was a little bit of a downturn in 2020 where people were making deals, landlords were making deals to get vacancy down. Now in 2021 and moving forward, we've seen that the market has been kind of nuts here for renters. So the reason being is you got a lot of people who own property and refinanced at really low pandemic rates, talking 3, some into the 2% range. They're holding on to that property. They're holding on to that property because it's less expensive than it would be to buy another one.
So look, hypothetically speaking, I'm a person that was just married looking to start my family. I call you up. What advice are you going to give me? Should I keep renting in my 2-bedroom apartment in Hoboken, or should I go out possibly to the suburbs and look to buy a house now? What should I do?
Sure, everybody's situation's different, right? But I would get you linked up with a broker, could talk to you, or not a broker, with a mortgage broker. Get you kind of a picture of where you might be, what your budget is, where you are based on your assets, your savings, and your income. So figuring all that out, figuring out where you would be, you know, you can put yourself in the, I'm going to be a buyer bucket at this price. I'm going to purchase an asset and then move forward with that and let it mature over time. Or I continue to rent until, you know, until the market gets better for me. I just had somebody she was renting in Hoboken. She had a roommate, but she was saving a lot of money. She came to me 2 years later. She said, I'm ready to go. I saved up. And she's got a great condo now, and she's very happy. So, you know, it's that situation applies to a lot of folks.
Yeah. Now, I want to talk about you specifically, because I mentioned your fabulous jacket at the beginning of the segment. You obviously expanded into the suburbs, it looks like, but your primary base is Hudson County, Hoboken, Jersey City.
Yeah.
Jersey City is, and we have a number of viewers there, is a market that we've never discussed on this show.
Okay.
I was just wondering, if you're a Jersey City resident, possibly looking to stay in town, Jersey City has an influx of either apartments, homes. I mean, you know, it's the second largest city in the state of New Jersey. What should a person be looking out for a person who's maybe renting in Jersey City that wants to call it a permanent home for their foreseeable future?
Sure. I mean, there's a lot of new construction projects in Jersey City. So I peeked at the numbers before I came in because I wanted to give you the best stuff. But Jersey City's inventory is up, which is honestly not something that we're seeing statewide or nationwide. Inventory is typically down. Hoboken was slightly down year over year in Q1, but Jersey City has had a lot more. There is a new construction portion to that. But to answer your question, if you're looking to rent, or if you're renting in Jersey City, you know, you're probably in a situation where you can save some money monthly, and you just need to wait until that opportunity arises where you say, okay, I'm ready to go. I have my down payment, or, you know, whether it be 10%, 20%, you don't need 20% to buy a house. A lot of people think that that's the case, but 10% is just fine too. If you do an FHA, you can go lower than that. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great things in Jersey City. They continue to build, they continue to develop. The parks are great there. So it's a great place to live.
And just because availability is up doesn't mean demand isn't high.
Correct. Availability was up, but the average sale price was also up. Whereas in Hoboken, the numbers were down slightly Q1, but our average sale price was up 11%. So, you know, go figure there.
No, I can't figure it out. That's why I call you.
Exactly.
TJ, we have about 90 seconds left. Anybody watching at home who wants to utilize your services, which I highly recommend, where can they find you? And then, you know, for our Hoboken viewers, because the majority of our viewers are in Hoboken, what's the availability like in Hoboken, and is now a good time to go after either a rental or a sale?
Well, at the time of taping, we're right in the midst of the spring market, right? I just had a listing at 1400 Hudson go up today. Beautiful. Great demand. It's just going to show beautifully Northeast Hudson views, Hudson Yards, all that good stuff. But in order to find me, our office, like I said, is located at First and Park. We are one of the few remaining independent brokerages in town, and we kind of pride ourselves on that. So my name's TJ Fiorillo. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me tj@primeregrealestategroup.com is my email address. Feel free to reach out, and I can get you started on the right path. Exactly.
Well, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
I mean, you're one of the premier realtors in town now, and you know, I knew what he did before real estate. we won't talk about that on camera.
I'm spending a lot more time with my family now, and I love it.
Exactly. And he's an Eagles fan, but we'll let that pass.
Hey.
Exactly.
Move
TJ,
on.
Thanks for starting. Thanks
Peter.
so much for coming on, and hopefully we'll see you on a future show.
Yes, sir.
All right, my man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, folks. We will be right back. Peter Biancamano, your hostess with the mostest of the Pulse with Peter B. Folks, don't forget to go on our Facebook and our Instagram pages by searching The Pulse with Peter B, and like and follow us on each of those platforms. We're constantly updating those pages with previews of each week's segments and cool stories. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our email address at thepulsewithpeterb@gmail.com. Welcome back to the Pulse with Peter B. And folks, the person to my right needs absolutely no introduction. He can't get away from us. He's just always, reaching out to me and saying, Peter, I missed the Pulse, I missed the Pulse, I missed the Pulse. And I'm like, Greg, you were with us for 4 long years and you still have PTSD from it. But yet he's back on sets, and we're going to get to that. That is our former videographer and my good friend, Greg Schultz. Great to see you again, my man.
You too.
Exactly. How much do you miss us?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's been what, a year, and your demographic has kind of expanded.
Yeah, well,
I guess.
Listen, thanks to the Mile Square Theater,
Fair enough.
located here at 1400 Clinton Street. Great group here. But you were in a theater production recently. The last show you were on, you talked about it. How was your experience?
It was probably like my favorite show to do, and not just because of the subject matter, but because like I just had so much to do with it, and like just the audience feedback was tremendous. Like I think we got 10 out of 16 award wins for like the theater that we were nominated for.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
So, and remind the audience what the show was, who you played, and all that good stuff.
So we were just doing a show of Titanic the Musical at the Old Library Theater in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. And I played the part of Charles Clark, a second-class passenger who is running away with his fiancée, Caroline. And our parting during the lifeboat scene was like pinnacle to like the drama, and you could hear a lot of sniffling in the audience. It was very intense.
Wow.
But it was probably the best show I got to do.
Fictional?
Well,
Yes and no?
the characters, no. The accounts, maybe.
Okay.
It depends.
Okay, because
So,
who knows what
Like
really happened?
there's no Jack and Rose. There's none of that stuff. Like all the characters were real. Just some of their accounts were fictionalized. That's all.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, it was, what, 2 weekends, I believe?
Yes.
Yeah, and it sold out almost every show, correct?
Almost every show.
Exactly.
And like after the first night, like regular critic gave us like what we called a musical triumph.
Yeah.
So.
And I just want to kind of steer directions to where we are now at the Mile Square Theater. How important is it, like theaters like this, that people support them and come out and watch their productions and so on and so forth?
Well, it's pretty much just, coming out and supporting your friends, and also, it's one thing to, have your friends come out and, support you by coming to see the show, but it's another thing to do what you like to do by, performing the shows that you wanted to go try out for.
Right.
And, theater is very important, to keep up activity, to keep, creativity going, and all that stuff.
No, that's unbelievable and good for
Yeah.
you. Let's talk about you personally, Greg. You're now engaged. Congratulations,
Thank you.
Jen. I look forward to the wedding. I did get to save the date. Anyway, is Josh invited? No, just kidding. Anyway, Greg, talk to me about what you've been up to. I mean, you look great ever since you left the Pulse. I mean, it's making me like really feel bad about what I'm doing as a boss here.
I noticed that Josh is getting gray hair. What the heck? I was gone for 1 year. What are you doing to these people?
I know. That's what I'm saying. Talk about you. What you've been up to, and what does the future hold?
Well, like besides getting ready for my wedding on August 17th, I've just been, going back and forth, like, with my full-time job, and then starting to branch out more, segueing into theater. Like I started doing like videography services for local theaters that, because one of the setbacks for, community theater is, you can't film it and put it on YouTube, unfortunately, because there's like a lot of, legal issues. But I honestly feel like, actors and crew should have access to, seeing their performances, from the opposite side of the stage.
Right.
So what I do is I would tape these productions, and sometimes I will also do promotional material by like, taping the rehearsal and just like making a little trailer out of it, advertising, when the show is performed, how much the tickets are, where they can get the tickets, and so on.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's excellent. And I believe you're going to start teaching a course, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. So one of my co-actors from Titanic, she is the head of the Aurora Music Academy in Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey.
Wow.
It's like a theater group for like young kids, like 10-year-olds and stuff. So she reached out to me and she wanted me to, try out teaching kids how to, well, not just how to make films, but like, the aesthetics of it, like how some films are made, why they're made, like the whole enchilada, like so that, I want to be able to like make this a hands-on experience for them on how to like make a short video or something.
That's fabulous. And speaking of enchiladas, it's dinner time and I'm getting hungry. But anyway, I want to go back to, like you said, like small community theaters.
Yes.
Because this is your passion, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Even though you loved working for us for 4 years. Different story for a
Did
different time. I mean, exactly. Now we have the fabulous Leslie. But anyway, again, I want to go back to the importance of supporting local theaters. You said that you do videography work because a lot of the actors that perform in a theater like this, are obviously looking to make it to the big stage in New York. However, this is the big stage. I mean, there are plenty of people out there who would die to have roles in local theaters like you had, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm honestly shocked that I got the part that I, got. I auditioned for a different one, but when I got called back, I was the only one that got called back for that character. So I think it was just I think that certain callback was just like a chemistry test. But absolutely, it's and getting back to what you were saying about actors wanting to like get themselves out there, and also one thing I forgot to mention was at the end of 2020, you might remember this because I had to skedaddle from the very first Pizza Fest that we covered.
Oh my goodness.
And I was
that
hauling...
was with Krista. That was our first time.
No, that was Daria.
Oh, was it Daria?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was hauling with the video and the audio.
Apparently he forgot he can't curse on TV, but okay.
Well, she can bleep it out. I'm sorry. But anyway, I had to go all the way to Elmwood. And this was like,
I do remember this actually. Yes, yeah.
So, this was back, before the pandemic was, sort of lifted. But what we did was we did like a little Christmas special, which was like a Dean Martin-esque type thing where we raised money for the arts, specifically for Elmwood Playhouse in Nyack, New York.
That's cool.
And what was interesting about that was we didn't have a live audience. Like the seats were moved. So I had the liberty to like move the camera around however I wanted. So I think that was like the very first production I got to film that looked like not just a production.
Right.
So.
Well, look, we have less than 60 seconds to go here. Tell the audience where they might be able to find your services. You obviously do videography for like, local like high school sports and so on and so forth as well, right?
Well, that was for like a service. But,
a service, right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But the audience where they can find your services and how you can provide them.
So I'm on Instagram at Greg Schultz, NJ Film. And you can reach out to me on the contact information provided at the bottom of the screen. I'll send that to the crew here. And just reach out to me and say like if you want me to come and shoot your film or show.
All right. Well, Greg Schultz, our former videographer, you're leaving me hanging here. Look forward to your wedding, but hopefully I'll see you before then. And thanks for coming by. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right. All right, folks. We will be right back. Peter Biancamano back with you. Don't forget to watch us on cable access every Sunday and Monday at 9 a.m. Optimum Channel 18, Files Channel 46, and Comcast Channel 190. Also on Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m., you can watch our show on our YouTube channel, and you can also binge watch all of our old shows. Who doesn't want to keep watching The Pulse with Peter B? We'll see you there. Welcome back to The Pulse with Peter B. Still here at the beautiful Mile Square Theater located at 1400 Clinton Street. And under these lights, I was getting parched. And good thing that my good friend Dan Levison, the founder and managing director of Vibal Energy Tea, is joined us today because he brought me these great treats. It's great to see you again, Dan.
Great to see you. Thanks for having me.
Exactly. And thank you for bringing me this because I'm telling you, I was dying in here. You know what I'm saying? And I tell you, Dan, I drank about half the bottle into 30 seconds before this, and I'm already feeling the energy. So if you could remind the audience, because it's been like 3 years that you've been on.
Yeah.
If you could remind the audience of why your iced tea is superior to all the others.
Oh man, well, I don't know if we have enough time in this segment to go over all of the reasons, but I'll try to give it my best shot. So Vibal Energy Tea, it's a new line of bottled energy teas for the perfect balance boost. What does that mean? So basically, we start with real brewed tea, and then we infuse it with natural ingredients like honey, juice, and everything has a balanced energy boost.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you infuse it, what type of ingredients are you using so I could feel more energized to get through this segment right now?
Yeah. So we use natural caffeine from green coffee bean.
Wow.
So it's got the same amount of caffeine as coffee per 8-ounce cup.
Gotcha.
And then we balance the boost with ginseng and amino acids that help with mood, motivation, and focus.
Wow. Totally. Well, listen, I'm focusing, you know, and every time Josh Sloan, my Einstein is on, nobody focuses, but different story for a different time, Dan. Anyway,
We'll have to get you and your whole team plenty of Vibal, and you won't have to worry about it.
You brought me a case. I'm like, loving
go.
this right now. So Dan, it has been a while since you've been on. So obviously your business has grown. In the last 3 years, how has your business grown?
Yeah, so basically, we've been growing in both retail and e-commerce. So those are the two main platforms that we're trying to reach people and share good vibes and balanced energy, and that's what Vibal stands for. Basically, our retail footprint, we've been focusing on our newest opportunity, which is with ShopRite, which we got into last year, and we're in 20 of them already.
Wow.
And doing really well, doing lots of demos, got displays, doing promos, all the fun merchandising stuff, and meeting lots of people, sharing lots and lots and lots of samples.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Well, and I'm sure that after a person tries this product, your Vibal, it's definitely they're buying a few bottles. No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm batting about 500 on samples. So
it's actually really good. If you're a Major League Baseball player, you'll be in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly. So that's good. And some people, if they really like it, buy 1, 2, 3. Sometimes people buy 1 of each. So it's been great growing on that front. We've also been working on our next set of retail chains. So we've been having conversations with a lot of retailers, and I can't say anything yet, but really excited to see who the next one will be and share that with you guys. And that's on the retail front. Okay. And then on e-commerce, we just got on Amazon Prime.
Oh, cool.
So we have same-day delivery nationwide.
No way.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, it's just so good I can't stop drinking. Talk to me how big that is.
It's huge for us. So basically.
Yeah, take a break. No problem. We are like 5.
That's good.
I know.
This one's my favorite, actually, the spicy ginger.
Which one do I? Oh, I took the lemonade. I was feeling a little sweet, like me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, very sweet.
But how big is moving on to Amazon?
It's a great opportunity because people want convenience. People want delivered as quick as possible. And as far as a retail like consumer product, you can't get faster than same day.
Yeah, no,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, it opens up a lot of opportunities for us.
Exactly. And Dan, since the last time you're on, I've noticed these really sleek new bottles.
Right.
I'm not in marketing, thank God. I could barely market myself on my cable access show here, but that's why I have a really good team, except for Josh behind us here. But anyway, so is it more of a marketing ploy when these bottles, or is it more of a flavor thing, or is it both?
So yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would say it's necessarily like a ploy per se, but we're always trying to, like IT, get feedback, make iterations, and optimize. And so from the feedback that we've been getting, we want to create the safest product possible, and part of that has to do with the package. So if you remember, when we were on the show last 3 years ago, we were in glass bottles.
I do remember that.
As we got into retail, and especially online, which wasn't really part of the plan originally, we found out very quickly that glass bottles shipping is very difficult. And after hundreds of iterations with packaging and wrapping, we said, you know what? This is crazy. let's just go with a more convenient bottle. I've also been getting a lot more into the fitness mind space myself.
I can tell
and
you're looking a little jacked there.
It's because I drink these.
There you go.
And so for me, having a product that I can have in my daily lifestyle is really important. And glass really isn't as convenient if you're going to the gym, if you want to throw it in your bag, you're going for a run, you're going for a walk, whatever it might be. So it's a much safer and it's a more convenient bottle. So we're really happy that we've been getting a lot of good feedback since we made the switch.
Yeah. And Dan, I want to talk about you. You're a local guy. I believe you still live in town, if I'm not mistaken. I see him around doing his thing, doing his fitness thing, doing his Vibal
Over 10
thing.
years now, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. You're a local guy who started this locally, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're a food scientist, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
So I think that's important for the audience to know that an actual food scientist is making this awesome product.
Yeah, no, I've been working as a food scientist for almost 17 years now, specializing in product development for healthy, natural products. So it's really important to me to be able to stand behind a product that has all natural ingredients and as healthy as possible.
All right, well, look, I want to go after your competitors a little because that's what I do. So I'm in ShopRite. You're obviously here in the ShopRite in Hoboken, correct?
Right by the dietitian's corner.
Right by the dietitian's corner, boom. And I'm looking at your product compared to a Snapple iced tea, to an Arizona iced tea. And why should I, besides this really cool bottle and these really new labels, by the way, pick this up as compared to them? What products do they have that is poisoning me compared to what your product has?
Well, I'm not going to go ahead and attack competitors and say anything is necessarily poisoning anyone, but I think that people are demanding more natural ingredients. People are looking for more transparency. People are looking for healthier options. So one of the things that we're providing over a lot of the bottled teas is that we're actually using real brewed tea. Awesome. It's not coming from reconstituted extract or concentrate. We have extra green tea extract added as part of our nootropic energy blend for extra antioxidants. So we have a lot of antioxidants in the product, good for inflammation, and it's really about the balanced energy blend. So you're not going to find any other product that's going to deliver that amount of benefits as well as a balanced energy.
That's awesome. Well, we have just over 60 seconds left, Dan. I was just wondering if you want to let the audience know where they can buy your products. I know you mentioned ShopRite and Amazon and so on and so forth, but I'm sure you have a website. I'm sure you might have merch. I could tell from that shirt. I'm a little upset you didn't bring me one, but that's okay. You brought me enough Vibal. Anything else you want the audience to know about your awesome iced tea brand?
Yeah. If you're looking for a healthy, balanced pick-me-up, if you're trying to keep your sugars down and your vibes up, try Vibal. Basically, find us online. You can do www.drinkvibal.com. Find us on Instagram at vibal.energytea. Find us on Amazon, just search Vibal. And right now, same day, nationwide shipping from Amazon Prime.
Awesome. Dan Levison, the founder and managing director of Vibal. As you can see, I just housed this bottle. Salute, as we say in Italiano.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming on. You're invited anytime, and
thank you.
Congratulations on all your success, man.
Appreciate
Great to see you again.
Likewise.
All right, folks. Join us next week for The Pulse on everything you need to know. I'm Peter Biancamano. I hope you have a great week, everybody.